Hi, this is Joel Craig, your guide to Hudson Valley real estate and lifestyle. And today I'm going to talk to you about pre-foreclosures. You've probably seen them on Zillow and Trulia. So we're going to talk about what exactly they are. From time to time I get people that call me and they say, oh, I see this great deal on Zillow, let's go see it. And you look and it's a pre-foreclosure, and I have to explain to them the whole process. So I'm going to explain it in this video, and hopefully you can share it with other people and you can understand. When you go through the foreclosure process, the first step of the process after you've missed several payments is the bank is going to file what's called a lis pendens with the county clerk's office. And that means they're intending to file a lawsuit and take over the property from you. And that's what Zillow and Trulia are calling pre-foreclosures. The bank has not foreclosed on the property yet. The homeowner still owns it and is likely still living there. So it's not a good idea to go knocking on their door and ask them about buying their house, because they're likely not in a good mood. So when they file this lis pendens, they haven't even gone to court yet. They have to go to court. The court will ask them to have a settlement conference. That's the opportunity for the homeowner and the bank to come to an arrangement. And if that doesn't occur, or they can't come to an arrangement, then the court will order an auction. And you've probably all heard about these auctions on the courthouse steps. And what that is the bank is then putting the property up for auction. You could go bid on it there, but the problem is if you don't meet the amount of money that is owed to the bank is just going to take it back. And then at that point, they're going to either put it on an auction site, or they may list it with a realtor that specializes in foreclosed properties, and it may be on the MLS, and you could make an offer on it there. But this whole process takes a while, from pre-foreclosures to the final listing of the property for sale. And that's what I want to tell you. That just because it appears as a foreclosure, it may be years before the bank actually puts it up for sale. I've seen that happen a lot. The banks just sit on them for whatever reason for a long time. The other thing is, anywhere in that process, the homeowner can basically redeem the house by paying the back mortgage and the charges and get the house back. So when you see a pre-foreclosure, it's not for sale. Don't go knocking on the door. Please don't call a realtor and ask them to get it for you, because it's a great price. And that's the other thing. On these pre-foreclosures, I'm not even sure where that number comes from. Maybe that's the amount they owe the bank. Maybe that's the assessed amount. I don't know. But if it's, generally, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So if you're on Zillow or Trulia, they have an option. You can go on the listing type and it says for sale, or on Zillow it says potential listings and it says pre-foreclosures. Check that off. Don't even look at those. They're not for sale, and it could be a long time before they are. So don't even consider them. So while we're talking about Zillow and Trulia and the other online websites, let's talk about something called the Zestimate. And first of all, I want to just say that they are great tools, great to look up properties and get information. But they are not the end-all be-all. And especially with a Zestimate, you have to be careful, because what a Zestimate is, it's an algorithm. And supposedly they take like houses that have sold and they come up with an estimate based on a number of factors. Who knows? The problem is, that works well in an area where there's a lot of similar houses and a lot of sales going on. This estimate could be pretty accurate. Here in the Hudson Valley, the housing is so diverse. The neighborhoods are so diverse, it's very hard to come up with a Zestimate. And the other thing is, a Zestimate doesn't know whether you have Formica countertops or granite countertops. They don't know if there's a nuclear power plant in the backyard. They don't know any of that. It's just an algorithm, and they're guessing. So I've seen Zestimates that are wildly off both ways. So don't think that you're going to list your house for $500,000 based on a Zestimate, or don't think you shouldn't list your house because the Zestimate is too low. In any case, you should, if you're interested, if you really want to know what your house is worth, contact the real estate professional. They'd be happy to do a CMA for you and comparative market analysis, and it'll give you a more accurate view. Don't just go on Zillow or Trulia and take their estimate for granted. And the final thing I just wanted to say, again, not bashing Zillow or Trulia or Realtor.com, but you really have to be careful with what they're showing you, because they conglomerate their data from a number of sources. It's just not the multiple listing service, which would be the most accurate. So in some cases, I've seen the taxes off because they're including back taxes that haven't been paid. So you look at the listing, you're like, oh my goodness, those taxes. Sometimes the addresses are off, particularly if it's a rural area or if they haven't given a street number to a piece of property. The addresses and the mapping can be off. So again, if you're really interested in a piece of property that you see on one of these sites, I would encourage you to contact a real estate professional. And don't do it by clicking on the button that says give me more information, because that just sends it out to someone who has paid Zillow or Trulia or Realtor for your information. And they may not be familiar with the area, you don't know anything about them. If you know of a real estate professional in your area that you trust or that has a good reputation, I would encourage you to contact them directly. Say, hey, I saw this on Zillow, can you tell me more about it? So that's just some thoughts on using Zillow and Trulia and Realtor. Foreclosures, ditch them. If you find a property on there, and they're great tools for that, contact a reputable real estate person and let them know you're interested. And other than that, like I said, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is.